Greetings, YouTube. I was coming home from work the other day and I got some wonderful news. The BSA, the Boy Scouts of America, were filing for bankruptcy. Sadly, it's Chapter 11 bankruptcy, so that's about protecting their assets. You see, the BSA has almost $5 billion in assets, mostly tied up in land, camps. And part of that is owned by the corporation itself, BSA, and then part of it is owned by the individual troops that own camps. So that's a lot of assets. And they're trying to protect those assets so that they do not have to sell them off to pay off all the people who are suing them, because the BSA had a decades-long policy of hiding the fact that some of their scoutmasters were rapists and molesters. They didn't go public with this. They put him into what was known as the perversion file, rather than be public. They also didn't call the cops for the most part. They just shoved it to the side and quietly paid off the scouts that they could and didn't deal with it. So there goes for, being moral. So this all broke because one individual scout sued, and when it sued, it got the perversion file opened up into the court system. Well, when that happened, well, all hell broke loose. So now there's lots and lots of lawsuits. Good. And the BSA's insurance company is saying, hey, we're not touching this shit. This is on you. You knew what was going on. You did nothing. And so we're not responsible. Also good. And so they have to do something to protect their assets. That's why they're filing Chapter 11. Now, in a just world, every single penny of assets controlled by the BSA would be sold off, and that money would go to the scouts who had been raped and molested. Now, before anyone accuses me of having a stake in this, I have no dog in this fight. I am a survivor of molestation at the hands of a scoutmaster. I have never hidden this fact. But I am not part of any lawsuit. So I will get nothing out of this. So I am not saying this because I want money, because I don't. I dealt with my scoutmaster, and yes, he's still alive. So I don't need to be involved in this lawsuit. But there are people who are involved in this lawsuit, and they deserve every single penny they can get, because they deserve it. Because the BSA is morally bankrupt and has been for decades. And that's ignoring the fact they still treat gay people and atheist people like shit. The world is a better place without the BSA. Let those assets go to real camps, the Rainbow Scouts and the Girl Scouts, and the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Let them go to people who have been quite successful at keeping their adult leadership from molesting and raping children. But not the BSA. Nope. They were apparently were training people so they could then go be members of the Catholic Church. So, yeah, I would be thrilled that the BSA ceased to exist and all of their assets went to the people who suffered at the hands of their immoral, absolutely ethically bankrupt behavior. Sadly, that's not going to happen. But at least some of those boys, those survivors, we're going to get some kind of compensation. Maybe they can do some good with it. And maybe it'll mean that some people will leave the BSA and go out there and find organizations that can treat children with respect and decency and safety, and not molest and rape them and then hide it.